Recording.
Got it.
Got it. Good day, everyone. This is Ariane J. Cayadong, and today we will be discussing about Habitat Participatif in France, the case of H Nord. H Nord is a housing restoration project now under construction in Bordeaux, the Chartrons district. The project began in 2004, where three long-term residents began to investigate ways to repurpose a large industrial area that had been abandoned in their neighborhood for several years. They were especially concerned about it being developed by real estate developers who would turn it into a big block of concrete. Therefore, the H Nord initiative was established with the purpose of changing the abandoned region into something helpful to the neighboring community. The name of the project is taken from the region's shape, which resembles an H, as well as its location on the city's northern fringes. The H North project seeks to challenge the long practice of housing people only after buildings are completed. This co-op seeks people who will design the neighborhood and its services before moving in order to create a living space that reflects the needs and values of its future residents. Although Habitat Participative appears to be a fresh concept, numerous similar housing projects were implemented around France in the 1970s. This is a kind of new wave started at the beginning of the century. The project is currently under construction and it cannot be evaluated in terms of its impact. And there is no list of measures that HNORD or any other organization will use to determine the project's economic impact.
Good day, I am Alfonso G. Fabicat. H North is an eco-neighborhood housing development project under construction. The H North project was developed from the ground up with weekly meetings between the three friends and a group of followers who become involved through the distribution of flyers in schools, bars, and public places. The initiative grew in popularity, and in 2006, a group of neighborhood residents formally formed an association with the goal of forming a cooperative of residents. Since then, several members abandoned the project as they were interested in having a home for themselves. Some other members have embraced the principles of common ownership supported by the group. The co-op of inhabitants currently is composed of 25 official members and 40 followers. The H North initiative grew up from the ground up with weekly meetings between the three friends and a group of supporters who become involved after receiving flyers in schools. The H North project's attempts to break the long-standing custom of housing people once the construction is completed. This co-op is looking for people who are interested in developing the neighborhood and its services before moving in order to create a living area that reflects the needs and the ideals of its future residents.
Hello, this is Jessa Sibilia. The Enhort project attempts to break the long-standing custom of housing people once construction is completed. This scope is looking for people who are interested in developing the neighborhood and its services before moving in order to create a living area that reflects the needs and ideals of its future residents. The goals and objectives can be divided into four categories: ecology, economy, social, and participation. Three long-term residents of the neighborhood began to consider how to capitalize on a vast industrial area that had been abandoned for several years in their neighborhood. As a result, these residents established the Enhord project to transform the abandoned area into something useful for the surrounding community. The name of the project comes from the shape of the area, which is similar to an H, as well as its location in the city's northern outskirts. The operation of this inhabitants co-op is defined and organized.
Good day, this is Jaya G. Sarsali. The design and contract models should go beyond private property and bring to the urban environments new qualities based on community and ecology. This housing project should offer a definite advantage for municipalities which sees it as a means of developing the city on a small and scale with low investment. Local public authorities should support this project until it will end and those inhabitants are sharing the rest of building their homes with a wider audience since partnership is a key component for the success of the initiative. The majority of the subjects championed by this organization have a significant base of support, a cultural foundation. Partnerships are required to set up regeneration procedures such as this one. These are numerous such private efforts that do not seek public participation. The inclusion of social housing in a case is the first feature that makes this case interesting in a spontaneous manner because of this approach. A portion of the initial membership departed the Each North Association. Those people were interested in building their own homes and they did so in different parts of Bordeaux. They are constructing homes for their families, including social housing as a fundamental component of the project complicates, but it is necessary enhances the initiative's chances of success.
To conclude, what the project on Habitat participant revealed is that represent more than means to get access to housing in the way of sharing common space and services. Rather, the values of promotes and its structure deeply affects the role individuals play within the community in the city. As Elijah Joe observed, Habitat participant not only concerns the way in which projects are built and space shared, but also represent an entirely new way of collectively building the city. If a member does not represent sufficient reason for his absences, it will be considered without leave ejection from the co-op, if possible for variety of reasons, including a lack of participation. There have been no dismissal to date and minimum number of meetings that big convenes has not been reached. Internal H1 regulations allow for this, but isn't it explicitly state active participation in co-op meetings and activities is needed.
That would be all. Thank you, everyone.